Section 305, which the President copiously, I think, he advised and basically without due consideration of what the Constitution says. And I'm going to read that for emphasis. The President shall immediately after the publication transmit copies of the official gazette of the government of the Federation containing the proclamation, including the details of the emergency, to the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, each of whom shall forthwith convene or arrange for a meeting of the House of which he is President or Speaker, as the case may be, to consider the situation and decide whether or not to pass a resolution approving the proclamation. I mean, this is so clear. It is not like if the President wakes up in a dream or something comes to him and he says, oh, there's a state of emergency. He can be dreaming and say there's a state of emergency and declare. No. When there are circumstances, he will, after the publication in the Gazette, he will transmit to those houses because sovereignty belongs to the people, as represented by the elected officials and legislators in the National Assembly with regard to the President. And thereafter, it says this, to consider the situation. It is not that the President will consider the situation. It is for the people, the elected people, that have sovereignty to consider the situation and decide. Not that the President will decide. Because let's say I hear him say he decides. He cannot decide. It is the people that decide. Or not to pass. To pass or not to pass. The National Assembly, through the two chambers, will make a determination after those facts are presented by the President. The President violated the Constitution by altering, and this is serious, that the proclamation of state of emergency in Rivers State should take immediate effect. That sounds like a strange word in a democracy. We're used to that in the military. But we think 26, 25, 26, 27 years of democracy should allow begin to purge us of those kind of comments with immediate effect. Without the approval of the National Assembly, he cannot do that. That's unconstitutional, ill-advised, and it cannot stand. Then I go to section 217, subsection 2C. It about the deployment, and this is key, of in a state of emergency. I'm going to refer to the Constitution in a more copious way here. 217, and it deals with, it says, establishment and composition of the armed forces of the Federation. The very relevant point of it is about deployment in situations such as the present envisaged, which was not in Rivers State at the time of declaration or the purported declaration. One of the things in section C of 2 of section 217 is, and I quote it, it says, empower the deployment of the armed forces to, this is key, suppressing insurrection and acting in, note this, in aid of civil authorities. It says, in aid of civil authorities to restore order when called upon to do so by the President, but subject to such conditions as may be prescribed by an act of National Assembly. Section 217 was violently violated by the President. Subsection 2C, by deploying not in aid of civil authorities, but in dismantling civil authorities. And in this matter, who are the civil authorities in Rivers State? The governor, the deputy governor, and the House of Assembly. Now, assuming without considering that indeed there was some breakdown of law of order, assuming without considering because there was none there, the President is only required under section 217 Subsection 2C, to aid the authority to restore order. The civil authority, as I mentioned earlier, in Rivers State, there's the governor, deputy, and the assembly. The president cannot, under the constitution, attempt to dismantle civil authority. He is, by the provision of this constitution, expected to aid. He was to aid the sustenance of order and peace in the state. Not to use that opportunity on that guy to dismantle those civil authorities. He is to aid them, not to dismantle them. The PDP calls on the National Assembly because these are grievous issues of violation of the Constitution by the President. And so the legislative arm of government, they are passed and they need to invoke that power. We are urging them to do so with regard to this constitutional breach. Governor Fubara, under the provisions of the 1999 Constitution, remains the elected governor of Rivers State. The PDP urges the military and other agencies to be on the side of the law and restrict themselves to their constitutional role of defending democratic rule and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 amended. The PDP will continue to call for calm and stand with the governor of Rivers State, Governor Fubara, and the people of Rivers State at this very trying time, challenging as it were. President Tinubu should note, and this is to him, Mr. President, please note that a president is expected to be a father of the nation. In a situation of crisis, what is expected to find is a resolver of problems, not an exacerbator of the problem. Mr. President, you are called upon as a father of the nation to solve problems, to bring experience, to bring expertise, to call for calm, not to exacerbate the problem. You should be a resolver of problem, not a man who will increase the problem. Mr. President, your action now, and this is important, the action of Mr. President is now beginning to hurt the people of Rivers State and indeed the nation. Because as at the time, and you should know this, as at the time of the declaration of the state of emergency in Rivers State, there was peace. We don't believe we can say so now with the declaration of Mr. President of the state of emergency. Thank you very much, gentlemen, press for listening to the position of the PDP with regard to those two issues.